Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Looks like I'm gonna have a guest today, Mad Stork. He's not gonna have his camera on, but he's the Jamie of the show. He doesn't need his camera on. Okay, he's got plenty to say, a lot to talk about. He's backstage right now. He's trying to get things working. So he'll be with us momentarily. But hello, everybody. I hope you're having a fantastic Friday. We have a lot of news to get into today. Mad Stork said hello in the private chat. Hello, Mad Stork. You gotta turn your. I can't unmute you. You gotta unmute yourself.
Oh, what's up?
Hello, there we go. I got Mad Stork. Oh wait, I could do. Okay, I can't pull up just your name, so I guess you're gonna be talking in the background today.
What do you mean you can't pull up just my name? I got a camera running, or the video filter thing for camera.
When I go to
Should be.
Duo, it doesn't pull up.
Huh. Uno momento.
Uno momento. No worries. So,
That should be good.
like I said, we have a bunch of news stories to get into today. But you don't need your camera, Mad Stork. It's okay. You're Jamie anyway, so you just pull up things in the pull up things in the background. I need to move my camera. I have it set up from when I was doing my game stream. There we go.
You should have something on a feed now, just for the record.
I'm not seeing nothing. Oh, there we go. There it is.
Yep.
Oh, and it highlights when you talk.
Yeah, it actually does your audio as a voice thing, plus the sound I'm listening to, plus highlights essentially when it pops up. I'm actually way more technically advanced than what most people who do this are.
I need help figuring. I don't know if it's a Rumble Studio problem or if it's a me problem, but I need help trying to get my game streams to not lag on Rumble Studio. So anyone in the chat, Mad Stork, anyone,
I can look into it.
I would appreciate it because my game stream last night with Split Fiction with Melted Mind, a lot of fun. That game was a lot more fun than we thought it would be. But the lag is insane. Like my audio and stuff is perfect, but you're watching the game at like 10 frames a second. And I mean, it might be watchable for some people, but I know a lot of people aren't going to watch that. But anyway, glad to have you on finally, Mad Stork, the famous Jamie of my channel, as we've been referring to you as. We got a lot of stories to get into today, so let's go ahead and start getting into them because I know you have a time constraint. You can't be here the entire show.
Slightly, yeah.
But which is perfectly fine. Happy to have you on regardless. So let's get into this first story. Let me switch over to presentation before I forget. I always forget to switch to presentation. First story we're going to talk about is this individual named Austin Metcalf. So this individual was recently fatally stabbed at a Frisco track meet during a track and field meet, Kirkendale Stadium in Frisco, Texas. 17-year-old Austin Metcalf was fatally stabbed by 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony following a dispute over seating. The incident occurred when a fight broke out between the two students, leading to Anthony's arrest and murder charge. More than 100 student athletes were safely evacuated from the scene. The Frisco police are continuing their investigation into the circumstances surrounding the stabbing, with no further details disclosed on what led up to the moment. And I mean, like, this is incredibly sad. No one should lose their life over a dispute when it comes to seating arrangements. This guy was also a twin. He had a twin brother. The twin brother does not appear to be an athlete, but he has spoke out on the issue. So here's this video from his twin brother. We'll play if I can get the audio.
Yeah. Under our
restart.
There was this kid. Before I knew his name, now this kid was sitting under our tent at track. We asked him to move. He started getting aggressive and talking reckless. And my brother stepped in and said, "You need to move." He's like, "Make me move." Austin grabbed his backpack. This kid, I tried to whip around as fast as I could, but I didn't see the stab. But then I look at my brother, and then I'm not going to talk about the rest. So just that's just what I saw. And I tried to help him, but
it was just senseless.
It was really senseless. Really, I don't know why a person would do that to someone just over that little argument. It's crazy. How people just up and do that. Like, a man has a family. That man has people that care about them all the time, and he did everything for our family too. He was a strong man. He was a strong kid. There was
incredibly sad. Like he said, it's senseless. Over seating arrangements is ridiculous.
I have to be careful what I say about this topic because, unfortunately, I have pretty direct information on it, actually.
Really?
Yeah. This is one of those situations where I have to be somewhat careful about what it is I say. Because I mean, I have one firsthand, I have two firsthand or two secondhands, and a few things on the story. But essentially, the two twins. It should probably be noted, and this is going to come off as controversial for a lot of people talking on the subject.
Okay.
Austin Metcalf was not the most innocent of children in the story. He actually had a prior history with the school district. He was by no means a troubled kid. He was by no means, but he was known to be a more aggressive athlete, I guess I'll say. And so the idea that this guy just started stabbing with absolutely no provocation, everything was just kind of cool. That one is a little bit more. That's a little bit more difficult to believe. Essentially, if you are familiar with the culture at any of these track meets and stuff, it's actually pretty common. The whole tent setup and the bleachers and stuff. It was also raining there quite a bit, so the tents were actually probably there for weather reasons. And so he probably more aggressively told him to get out of the tent. And then some more words were exchanged, from what I understand. And that's when eventually, now, I'm not justifying anything that the other
Yeah.
kid did. I'm simply saying, hey, this is kind of more what the story is. I want to. Okay, so they had no history of knowing each other beforehand. It was kind of more of a wrong spot situation. His
Yeah.
twin was definitely holding him. There's an interview with the father. I don't know if you have that, if you can pull that up or anything
The
like that.
father of the individual that was stabbed, or the one that
Yeah,
did the stabbing?
the one who was stabbed, Austin Metcalf. I'm not going to name the other piece of because there are times when I think people who do things should be named and you should look into it.
I mean,
And there are other
there's a
times,
video of the mother and twin brother. I don't see the one with the
yeah,
father. Or is this the
that
father?
one with the father right there. That's the father.
Okay, should I play this one?
Yeah, yeah, go ahead. I don't think he says anything. He was on the local news, so it's pretty
Okay, yeah, it
kosher to
says
play.
father here, so the father
Yeah.
of the individual.
Yeah.
The sad part about it is he died in his brother's arms. They were twins, identical twins, and his brother was holding on to him, trying to make it stop bleeding, and he died in his brother's arms. And I rushed up there, and I saw him on the gurney, and I could tell. They said he wasn't breathing. I could see all the blood. I saw where the wound was.
Understandably still in shock, Jeff Metcalf says a precious memory was made just this past weekend when he took his twin boys hunting. That's where Austin got his first hog. Well, this morning at around 10, he rushed here to Kirkendall Stadium, where the Memorial High School student athlete suffered a fatal stab wound during this track and field meet. Frisco police say a fight broke out between two students when one stabbed the other. More than 100 student athletes were participating in this meet. Fortunately, they were safely evacuated. Police arrested the suspect. He is 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony of Frisco. He is now charged with murder. Some students, unfortunately, witnessed this deadly encounter and have been interviewed by police. Despite life-saving efforts, the 16-year-old victim died at the hospital. Austin, his father shares, was born 2 minutes before his twin brother Hunter, the two inseparable, as you can imagine. Austin is being remembered as an outstanding student at Memorial High, his football team's MVP, and a young man of faith. His father grappling with loss and forgiveness.
So
I'm not trying to judge, but
sorry. Wait, here, you wanted to add something?
Well, I just want to add again. He was an athlete. He was well known within the school. A lot of the parents and everything that, and I do intentionally use this word, fled. A lot of people fled Frisco in the last couple of years because I mean I don't know anything other to say. I mean, people are going to call this historically when they talk about it. They're going to call it a white flight, and I don't really have any way to argue with it. But these people specifically left the area because of the influx of people. You have to understand, Frisco is in the top 5 or 6 school districts in the nation for size now.
I'm glad I had you on today because I actually did not have any of this information.
Yeah, I actually, again, I know a little bit too much, and I have to be careful about what it is I say. As long as I don't name anybody, I think I'm pretty good, but I'm actually fairly familiar with the school district there, a few of the police officers, and a few other things. I also know a few parents in the school district and stuff like that. So I'm fairly
I don't want you to
fluent.
say anything that gets you in trouble, but like, do you live near here? Is that why?
I used to. Well, okay, so I am originally from DFW. I'm from the Fort Worth side of Dallas Fort Worth. There's a road in the middle. It's called 360. It runs through the middle and ends about at the airport. And most recently, I lived just to the west of that divide. But I have moved to more middle of America for employment options, essentially, with my wife. I can tell you that the majority of the business that I do still in the area with structural engineering is on the east side of that road, which is considered the Dallas side. So you that line divides Dallas and Fort Worth, is what I'm saying. And Frisco is on the north side of Dallas, which makes this way more complicated with a lot of things. And essentially, Frisco has been one of the top areas for a bunch of Californians to go settle in the Dallas area. Additionally, it is where a huge Muslim population has settled, a smaller Indian population has settled, and the town that's going to be built that people have been talking about a lot recently, the Muslim town
The
that they're
Epic
trying to
City
build.
in Texas.
Yeah, it's actually just to the northeast of this, just a little bit to the northeast in the countryside.
We actually have an update on that story. The construction on that has been canceled.
Oh yeah.
So
Texas actually never had a history of redlining. So that's kind of the fun thing. People like to talk about the historical like oppression and all this. What's funny is redlining was almost exclusively a northern states issue, not a southern states issue. And one of the reasons is that the southern states were actually under so much scrutiny for a whole bunch of other stuff, they never redlined.
yeah,
And so, because of that, Texas has some of the strictest laws on the books for not selling to religion, a minority, an ethnic group, any of those things. If you don't give a really good reason for rejecting selling your property to someone, you can be fined and or sued. It's actually pretty hardcore.
yeah, interesting. What's called? Yeah, so you actually have like some insider knowledge on this topic though. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, no. I don't want to get into specifics.
Don't
but
get yourself in trouble, man.
Yeah, I know people who are involved essentially at multiple interactions with this. Some of them know each other, some of them don't. So that's another reason I don't name who they are.
Yeah. Here, let's play the rest of this clip, and then we'll talk about it a bit more before we move on to the next topic.
Yeah.
What kind of parents did this child have? What was he taught? He brought a knife to a track meet, and he murdered my son.
Okay, look, to be fair, I would have brought a knife to a track meet too. To be fair.
It's highly illegal in Texas, though.
Is it? Okay,
yep.
Well, still, I think you should be able to have a knife on you at any time, in most cases.
We'll talk about it in a minute.
The guy was in the wrong place. They asked him to move, and he bowed up. This is murder. I don't know. I know they have someone in custody.
Yeah, we do.
And you know what? I already forgive this person. Already. God takes care of things. God's going to take care of me. God's going to take care of my family.
The victim's father says these two teens did.
That's incredible. So the guy is clearly a man of faith if he's so quick to forgive.
Yep. It's crazy to see this because essentially a lot of and I hate to just break it down on racial lines, but it was a largely white community. I mean, like 80-90% white, if not more. And they were kind of out in the country. And then it's a bunch of Jerry Jones property essentially out in Frisco with the Dallas Cowboys, if you're familiar with that. And he went through and massively developed it. And so Frisco has this weird combination of $4 and $5 million homes, and people who've lived there since the 80s, 70s, and 80s, who live in, anywhere else in the DFW area. These homes would only be worth 300, 400,000.
Yeah.
And then you've got now dense, and this is kind of one of the topics I want to get into to explain this. During Trump's first term, he brought in Ben Carson to oversee HUD, and HUD essentially got rid of when he did that, he got rid of some of the Obama era issues. And one of the Obama era issues was they basically put every municipality in the entire country under a spotlight. And if you were trying to keep dense housing from being developed in your municipality, they would basically fine the shit out of you. And I know you're on YouTube, so I'll try to watch my language, but they would basically punish you as much as possible. And Frisco was one of them that got caught up in the trap of all of it. And so they're being forced to create dense urban housing essentially in several areas in Frisco. And so I can almost assure you that the perpetrator of this act was in one of the more densely urban housing development projects that got started because of the Obama age.
Well, with the Palisades fires and stuff like that, they're going to make all of that affordable housing, or a lot of that affordable housing as well.
Yeah, California basically signed on to everything Obama was talking about. They basically could not jump on that program fast enough, and it caused a lot of issues.
It has, and still does. They still still do more. Which we have a California story. Maybe we could segue into that. Incredibly tragic story. Unfortunate that this happened. No one should get stabbed over seating arrangements at a game. Incredibly ridiculous. Maybe we'll get more information on that story, but I doubt it. It's just a sad situation overall. So let's talk about California and how Gavin Newsom is now trying to circumvent the tariffs. So California seeks tariff exemption amid trade tensions. Governor Gavin Newsom of California has announced plans to engage with global trading partners to mitigate the impact of tariffs imposed by President Trump. Newsom is seeking exemptions for California-made products from a retaliatory tariffs that other countries might impose in the United States. California representing 14% of the U.S. Gross domestic product. Wait, I said that right, didn't I? GDP?
Yeah, GDP.
And the world's fifth largest economy, aims to leverage its economic power to navigate the current trade tensions. Isn't it unconstitutional for a single state to be making deals with foreign...
Correct.
Okay,
It is
that's
entirely
exactly
the domain of the federal government. And
it's not just
the
illegal, it's
administration.
unconstitutional, right?
It is not just illegal, it is highly unconstitutional, and this dude should be sued by the federal government
because there was
for engaging in these talks.
Yeah, Governor Tim Walz. So who's he the governor of? Minnesota?
Minnesota, I think.
Yeah, he was trying to make deals with Canada, and everyone was coming out saying the same thing, like, "Yo, dude, you're just a governor. You can't be making deals like that."
Correct.
So
for the same reason that Texas is no longer allowed to enforce its borders, Newsom is not allowed to go off the rails and do this with another country.
Yeah, no, anything pertaining outside of the United States falls directly under federal jurisdiction. So it's within the federal government's power to do anything that involves outside the country.
I believe the legal term is purview. And
outside the legal purview. So this is outside his legal purview, and he's like, "Yeah, you know what? Screw Trump, screw everything. We have a large economy. Let's just start making our own deals." Which it sounds exactly like what California would do. Joey's upset at me because I did a game stream last night instead of attending Outworld Live. He just said I'm gay in the chat.
I thought you were, man.
I'm a Californian. You got to be at least a little bit to survive here. So
you signed off on all of the hugging and snuggling stuff.
Oh, totally. He said, "How dare you?" Look, man, I'm gonna try to get through this stream, but I feel like crap today. I'm gonna be honest. My IBS is having a bad flare up today. Very, very fun. I'm trying to ignore it, but it's not going so well. Anyway, so this is absolutely that's what I thought. I was looking into it before we went live, and it's unconstitutional. It's ridiculous that this is even being talked about right now. I mean, and then there's not a whole lot here. Oh, here's this video though. from Newsom. Let's show this one. To our trading partners around the globe, California is here and ready to talk. We will not sit idly by during Trump's tariff war. We make up 14% of the U.S. GDP. We're the 5th largest economy in the world. We're not scared to use our market power to fight back against the largest tax hike of our lifetime. And then let's play this video from him. If I could pause it so I can get the audio going. Jeez. Okay.
Donald Trump's tariffs do not represent all Americans. And on behalf of 40
Yes,
million Americans that live in the great state of California, the 10th pole of the U.S. economy, 14% of the U.S. GDP, the 5th largest economy in the world, the dominant manufacturing state in America, our state of mind is around supporting stable trading relationships around the globe. And that's why.
Funny he says that as he attacks Elon and takes away all of his.
I'm gonna let him talk, but I got so much to say.
Yeah, here I'll let you go. Let me finish the clip. You go first.
Today, I've directed my administration to look at new opportunities to expand trade and to remind our trading partners around the globe that California remains a stable partner. Donald.
All right, go off, Stork.
First off, it's just illegal. Every single thing that he is talking about, engaging in any sort of dialogue that is not sanctioned by the federal government, is illegal. That motherfucker needs to go to jail over this, in my opinion. I don't think there's a legal statute to throw him in jail, but I think there is actually precedent to sue the state in engaging in international talks like this outside of a sanctioned realm. Secondly, you're about to not be the largest industrial powerhouse of the United States anymore because companies have left him. They're like literally just
they're leaving in droves.
Oh yeah, I mean Tesla's gone. Intel just opened up their fab in New Mexico. They're still about to open up another place. I think it's been delayed to 2027 for the fab that's opening up in Ohio. They've got 2 more plants that are under construction. TSMC just opened up their place in Arizona, I think it is. So literally just Silicon Valley has left them. It's not there anymore. Facebook is moving on.
People aren't even making movies in Hollywood anymore.
No, they're all, see, now that's the funny part about it. The only reason they still have a GDP is because the companies are still technically located in California, but the movies are being shot in Georgia. Right. So they don't have that anymore under their belt.
But how long is that going to last with all the tax stuff? Because the only reason they're staying is because of the tax exemptions they get, right?
Yeah, but once you pull out people like Elon Musk, they're going to have to stop some of these things. And so they're going to have to start actually looking for money. And movies are going to be one of the only places to do it. Now, the funny part about that is all the way back with Howard Hughes, Texas has actually had a strong film and movie industry.
We got Solo19 in the chat. He said, make Cali a country. We need a new Guantanamo Bay.
I keep saying after the quake, we need to send everybody there. We can either turn it into a post-apocalyptic world, or we can let somebody re-educate people in cryopods.
Dude, they've been saying that we're due for an earthquake for so long. I'm honestly scared. What's it called? The fault line runs directly down the middle of my town. So
make sure you're on the right side or the left side, whichever it is.
I'm on the side that would fall into the ocean. So
okay, so you need to be especially careful, my friend.
Well, it's okay. I won't be around to worry about it, and then you guys will have all these videos to remember me by. So get your conversations in now.
You know, I'm just saying it's a wild world out there, and it isn't what he thinks it is. Any time that they're talking about production or anything like that in California right now, you need to start paying attention to what year he's referencing.
Yeah, well, I bring this up all the time. Like, you look at all the money that's gone missing in California. I've done multiple videos about the money missing in California. We had almost $25 billion go missing from the chat's going off now. We've had about $25 billion of money that was supposed to be allocated for homelessness just completely disappear. It was allocated to all the different cities in California, and they were like, here you go. Here's a nice big fat check. It's for homelessness, but use it however you want. No guidelines. We're not tracking it. So we don't know where that money went. And then there's also all kinds of other things. Like, I believe it's been, I think it's might be like 10 or 11 years ago now. We allocated like $8 to $10 billion for these massive water reservoirs that the construction was never even started. So that money is just gone. The money has gone missing in California to an egregious extent. We had a crazy surplus. We had like what was it? Like a $100 million surplus, or it might even be a billion. Or no, it was like $40 million surplus or $100 million surplus. And then Gavin Newsom gets into office, and now it's the complete opposite. We're like 100 million or 100 billion in debt.
Well, there are so many projects to nowhere in California that
Well, yeah, his bullet train that China beat us to in like 2 years, and we've been working on it for a decade.
Well, okay, so I'm going to ask a question. It's going to seem a little off
Wait,
topic.
here. Keep that thought. Let me read the chat real quick.
Yeah.
Back in Blanco, good to see you, man. Who the F thumbed down the video? I got a hater, bro. There's a hater that comes and drops dislikes. It's okay. But back at Blanco, you said Blanco did it. I'm gonna chop my BRB. Don't do that, Blanco. We need you here. You'll bleed out, bro. Anyway, did you keep that thought? Go ahead, Mad Stork.
Oh yeah, no. Do you know how long it took them to build the Empire State Building?
3 years.
I think the finish out was 3 years, something like that.
Oh, damn, I was right.
Yeah, no, it's actually much shorter than that for the actual structure. Time to build Empire State Building. It always amazes me that it's actually so low. The Empire State Building was built in a record-breaking 1 year and 45 days.
Wait, how many?
1 year and 45 days.
Oh, so
13 and a half months.
So Joey was right. 400 days. It was like 410 days.
Correct. So it was literally that long to build it. Do you know how long it took them to build the New World Trade Centers?
10.
Yeah, 10 fucking years.
Dude,
I think it was 10 or 11 years.
I used to always ace my test in school, Stork, because I'm just that good at guessing. I would never study. I would always guess on a question I didn't know. Usually I knew the answer, but I'm so good at guessing every time.
Well, it freaking amazes me that construction is that way when you go to places like California, because people from California are moving to Texas and they're like, hey, yeah, I want to build a house and everything. We'll get started. We'll buy a house over here and we'll wait. And the contractors go to them and they're like, we're going to be done in like 6 or 7 months, if that. Depends on the weather. And they're just like, what?
No, I have a perfect example for this. They have been doing construction to the freeway in my town. We have one freeway that everyone uses to get back and forth between the two towns. The two towns are basically, well, technically it's 3 towns, but we don't count the third one because it's so small. So the 2 towns are basically connected, and then the third one is encompassed into the second one. And we have just this one freeway. It's typically 3 lanes, but they've cut it down to 2 lanes. And sometimes just 1 lane, depending. And they started construction like a year ago. I don't even know what the hell they're doing. And they have signs up saying that it'll be done in like 2027 or 2028. And it's like, I don't know what they're doing, but whatever they're doing is making the road worse. And I would prefer if they just shut down the goddamn freeway, give us signs for detours, because there are other roads. You don't have to use the freeway. I wish they would just shut down the freeway. It would go so much quicker. And so they first sectioned off the side closest to the center, the lane closest to the center. Now they have the far left lane closed off, but the lane that was closed off before that is now repaved, and it makes like a screaming noise when you drive over it. So I feel I don't even use the freeway anymore because I feel like it's messing up my tires with the new pavement.
What that is actually the abrasive texture on the road to tell you or wake you up if you're falling asleep while driving. So they have that on the sides of roads of anything.
No, I know what you're talking about, but no, this is the whole lane.
Oh, seriously? Oh,
that's what I'm saying. It's the whole lane, and it's not the same. It's not the same kind of pavement as the other lanes now. It's different pavement, and when you drive on it, it makes like a screeching noise that I could hear with my windows up.
Well, okay, so do you know those big machines they pave the roads with, though?
Yeah, they have like 4 of them set up on the highway.
Yeah, man, they can only pave like 10 miles a day, so they should finish this. Oh, yeah, they can only pave 2 lanes, 10 miles a day. So, I mean, if they're going to be paving 3 miles,
they're definitely not going 10 miles a day. They're going
if they're going to be paving 3 miles of road, I expect them to finish this before the next election.
I would hope so, but yeah, no, that's about the timeline we're on right now, and I don't even know what they're doing. I would assume they might be like redoing the road. At first, I thought they were expanding it, but then they repaved the one they tore up. So then I was confused because I thought they were going to expand it to 4 lanes because we could use it. It would be nice. But no, they messed up the pavement. I don't even use the freeway anymore, and they're taking forever with it.
Yeah,
But that just goes to the point that California is useless. Any final thoughts on California being useless? Because we could talk about that all day.
Other than this douche needing to go to, he's trying to somewhat give red meat to his base, is what he's doing, because he still has political aspirations, and I don't see, he's pissed off too many people, and the Democrats have to have a come to Jesus moment before they can go any further and make anything he does viable. So I think he's just screwed.
But no, I absolutely agree. I mean, there's a lot of things that he needs to be arrested for. But while I have everybody in here, we're at 16 people right now. I noticed a lot of people came in at 1:30 today. Guys, I'm starting at 1 p.m. again. Okay, I started at 1 p.m. for the week. For the first week, I started doing this, and then I moved to 1:30 so I could send everybody to Joey. But now I'm a part of the Rumble Creator Program. I have to do premium content. So the last 30 minutes of the show is premium, but I still do a full free hour for YouTube and the free stuff on Rumble. So please come check it out. Come check us out at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 4 Eastern. The time is now 30 minutes earlier. Just public service announcement, because I know it's going to take a little bit for people to get used to, because I was doing it at 1:30 for like 3 weeks. So anyway, we're going to move on to the next story now. Gavin Newsom's a scumbag, especially for everything he did during COVID. That alone, he should be in prison. But let's talk about, there's this crazy lady. Actually, I'm going to save that for the uncensored portion. Sorry, Mad Stork.
It's all good.
All you guys need to know, and Mad Stork, you probably know about the story. It's about the woman who dismembered her boyfriend, and the mother found the head of her son in a bucket.
I may have heard something to that effect.
May have heard that story. So it's an update to that story. So let's talk about Klaus Schwab. I'm sure you have plenty to say about Klaus Schwab. So Klaus Schwab is to step down as the World Economic Forum chairman, which good. This is the eat the bugs, you'll own nothing, you'll be happy guy. What I'm worried about is who's going to replace him.
Will, his son, most likely.
Right. That's why I'm like, yay, he's gone, but this doesn't mean the World Economic Forum is going to be any better.
Yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. I've gone off on this before, so I'm going to try not to go off on it too much. But Klaus Schwab was designated kind of the selected class of children that were born under a certain political group that emerged in 1930s Germany. And you can look all this up. And he was actually only not fully inducted into the program because his mom was Austrian. And they had some questions about her political affiliations. Her dad, however, managed a factory that produced parts for U-boats and other things for this political party when they had some disagreements with people next door. And so Klaus Schwab, being the wonderful little Lebensborn that he was, you know, that's one of the other main political figures of the left. I thought he retired a while ago, though. Really...
a lot of these evil old people, like there's like like I don't know how else to describe it, but people like Klaus Schwab and George Soros, there's always stories that come out where they're like, oh, they're stepping down, their sons are taking over, or this person's taking over, but it's like, are they really? I don't think people like that just step down. I think they just work from the shadows now.
Rage Flowers, he wasn't technically in that particular group because he was too young. He was in a separate group, which was viewed as being superior to the others because of the genetic stock from which he was born. So he wasn't quite one of those people. He wasn't going around in brown shirts. He was born correctly, as they would say.
I mean, that's crazy. I've heard about Klaus Schwab having some possible Nazi ties, but if what you're saying is true, then I mean,
come on, I was having fun with it.
But what? Oh, was I not supposed to say the word?
Oh yeah, no. I was trying to avoid it just
But
so we wouldn't.
Blanco said N-word. What? That's the N-word, Blanco.
No, yeah. No. Okay, so he was born to an Austrian mother and a German father. The German father was put in charge of factories for the subs that eventually would go around in all of that. And yes, he didn't get kicked out of the Hitler Youth. It was the Lebensborn project, which was trying to breed the Ubermensch. And so that's exactly what he was. That's how he was, and what he grew up in. And so the thing about it is Soros was basically given to a guy to hide his birth in what country was it? I forgot. But basically, they hid the fact that he was a Jew, and then he was working for his adopted uncle, who was literally stealing and categorizing Jewish wealth. So
Wait. So
understand
you're
that.
saying Klaus Schwab is Jewish?
No, well, no. Klaus Schwab was not Jewish. I'm saying Soros was Jewish, but he was
Oh, I see what
being
you're saying.
hid in by his adopted uncle, and then he was 12 years old once they started taking all the wealth and stuff, and
Mm.
so he was put in charge of several shipments, cataloging everything that was being. So this is all like fully open information. It's in books that have been written about this guy. His own biography that he paid for talks about this for Soros. And then Schwab has talked about his childhood quite a lot. Yes, he was a pureblood, and so the two most financially and politically um, convenient people or influential people on the left were both Nazis. Not like
I
kind of
mean that
Nazis,
makes a lot of sense.
but literal Nazis. Oh yeah, it makes perfect sense. But it just like that's the funny thing about it is people keep calling people Nazis, and I'm just like,
I
holy shit, dude!
I think the funny thing is because you mentioned like the two like wealthiest, most influential people on the left, George Soros, Klaus Schwab. They are like Nazis. It's funny when you talk about that because like when you think about a lot of important people on the left, they're supposed to be the party of inclusion, like fighting
yep.
racism and stuff like that, and they literally have like Margaret Sanger on their side, and like it's
Oh
just
yeah,
it's crazy. Like the people that are on their, like, I know you can't say like because these people are on their side the whole movement's bad, but like these people look up to these people and they have committed atrocities.
yeah, man. Once you, with one of the biggest things I ever like figured out is when you establish timelines on people who lie, almost all the lies go away. Like just establishing a timeline on some of this. And so when you look at when Margaret Sanger was around, what party she was there with, and all that kind of stuff, just basic facts, you're like, so you're telling me that a southern racist woman wanted to expand the organization to kill black? Like, are
Yeah,
we? That's seriously what's going
there's a
on?
reason Planned Parenthood is in minority communities
Oh yeah,
primarily.
yeah. Oh well, but they're more impoverished, so we have to make sure that
That's not a
they
reason to
have
kill a
the
child.
you have to make sure they have the care that they need there,
I,
Tyler.
I have you ever seen the movie Nefarious?
Yeah, I have.
I love the way he describes abortion.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
way he describes it as being an altar, the baby being on an altar, and the priest is now a doctor.
yep,
Incredibly crazy. If you guys haven't seen that movie, I would go and watch it. Nefarious. It's about
yeah,
a prisoner who is possessed by a demon, and the demon wants this atheist psychologist to publish his basically antichrist Bible. And he like convinces he like the way he like manipulates this guy is crazy, but he explains how evil spreads through the world and humans just make it okay.
yeah. There's a YouTuber who breaks down old films and goes through them. I can't remember what his name is off the top of my head, but he goes into old films like Sophie's Choice or this and that, and he breaks down essentially the symbolism, like knowing what it is we know now, kind of thing. Like, but you just didn't have a general knowledge about these things. But when you look at them like later on, it's just like, oh, that's obviously what that was.
Yeah.
Why did I not think about that when I was shown that movie when I was 13 years old? Oh, it was because they were trying to manipulate.
Wait,
the way
Joey
I thought.
said he was on 60 Minutes in the 90s and said it was the best time of his life. Who is
Yep.
he referring to?
Soros, George Soros. He referred
Soros?
to being a Nazi as the best time in his life.
That's amazing.
That is not actually made up. You can look up that interview. Like, that is real. That is, like, you could pull it up. Actually, pull up George Soros. Like, I think it was Barbara Walters' George Soros interview. I believe was where he talked about that.
Said Bob Walters?
Barbara
Barbara.
Walters. Barbara Walters. Welcome to 60 Minutes with Barbara Walters.
How do you spell that? What?
Barbara Walters.
Okay, Barbara Walters.
Walters. I think
Yeah,
it was
I
Barbara
can't
Walters.
focus right now, man. My stomach hurts.
It's all good. It's all good. I've been there, man. I would suggest checking. I recommend anybody with problems goes and gets blood work, like just a general panel of stuff, and gets things like their magnesium and other stuff checked.
I did have blood work done recently, and my doctor was supposed to call me back. She never did, and I tried to call them, and none of the numbers are working for their place. So that's been fun.
Yeah, I highly recommend everybody just gets a general broad broad panel blood work done, and then discuss with your doctor, because as soon as I found out that I was vitamin
Here we
D
go.
deficient-
I found the clip.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so I'm gonna pull this up. Here we
Oh
go.
yeah, they have out. Yeah, Joey, they've scrubbed it several times.
See if the video will play. Oh, why isn't it playing? Let me refresh.
There you go.
It's not. It should not be taking this long to load. Everything else on my computer is loading just fine.
Certain videos I've found interestingly don't play so well.
Yeah, I wonder why.
There's a video about Korea that
like
was
even
really...
even the bottom's not loading.
Yeah. There was an interview about, or not an interview, a video about South Korea that was great, and every expat in Korea loved it. But the South Korean government got really upset about it, and they kicked the foreigners who made it out. And it's been scrubbed 4 or 5 times now, and I still can't find it today. It's a great video though.
Okay, I'm gonna leave this up, but it's not playing, so I'll just let it load in the background for now. Sorry guys, I tried to play the clip. Anyway, okay, yeah, no, we could. I'm gonna have you on again talking about Klaus Schwab and stuff. You know way more than I do.
Yep, cool. How long do you go before you go to the private?
I've got 15 minutes before the premium, but if you gotta go, you gotta go, man.
No, I got time. I talked about it. She needed to stay a little bit longer, so we're good.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna move on to there we go. Let's talk about this one. Kamala Harris, she's back in the news. So have you seen the recent news about Kamala Harris? She was at a U.S. or let's see, she was at the Leading Women Defined Summit.
So she's doing the Hillary Clinton tour.
Did Hillary Clinton go speak there too?
I don't know if she went specifically there. I think she did, but Hillary Clinton did the tour essentially after she lost, where she went and talked to all of these different places. I have a funny story from my personal life that will explain Hillary Clinton and the Democrats when they lose perfectly.
Wait, Joey sent a video. Oh, wait, Joey, that's a 28-minute clip. You didn't give me a timestamp. What the hell, Joey?
Give a timestamp.
Unprofessional. Moving on.
I can't work under these conditions, man.
I can't. Stressed out as it is, man. Anyway.
Oh, shit.
Vice President Kamala Harris spoke at the Leading Women Defined Summit, addressing the current state of the U.S. She remarked on the predicted outcomes that have materialized, such as a climate of fear due to the people and organizations staying silent in the face of unconstitutional threats. What, like California? Harris emphasized that she was not there to say, "I told you so," despite acknowledging the forewarned issues. And then there's this a wonderful clip, which I only watched a little bit of it, but from the comments that I have seen her make, I think this is just not going to help the current violent rhetoric we're seeing from the left. This is only going to amplify it.
I personally want them to have as many conferences and fundraisers as possible, because I want them to exhaust all of the USAID money before the midterms.
Rage Flowers said, inconsequential conference for an inconsequential people. You can say that it's inconsequential, right? But she's one of the leaders in the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party doesn't have a direct leader right now. When you think of the Democrat Party and you think of the heads of it, who's at the head of it?
Don't call her a leader, man. That's giving her way too much credit.
Well, she is. Like, we can't. I keep saying we can't underestimate.
She's the
these people.
face of the Democratic
Sure.
Party.
Okay, the face. The Democratic Party has many faces right now, though. And who's going to
Many
take
faces like a Hydra or something?
like a Hydra? You cut one head off, more pop up. But like Gavin Newsom, AOC, Chuck Schumer, Pelosi, still somehow. Kamala Harris, even Joe Biden was talking. I brought up a story recently where Joe Biden, it could have been Jill Biden, talking about how they might run in 2028. Like, that's insane. Please do not do that to your husband. But no, okay, so let's watch this clip, because like it is important. As much as you don't as much as you don't think Kamala Harris is consequential, I think she still matters a lot to the Democrat Party, especially with the current rhetoric surrounding Teslas. I think I did the same thing earlier in that story. But no, I think what she says is still very consequential to the Democrat Party.
It's consequential. I wouldn't say it's productive.
Well,
we are seeing organizations stay quiet. Okay, we're saying people stay quiet. We are seeing.
Okay, hang on. Pause. What people have been quiet? What have they been quiet about? I feel like the last 10 minutes of you being here is just going to be us cracking shit at this one.
I'm fine. I'm fine with it. We can do it. I'm here for it.
I mean, like, the first statement alone, just...
Joey gave an X.com link to a 5-minute clip of the interview of a certain someone.
Okay. That might be a Rumble-only clip, Joey. But because, well, I don't know. I kind of want to show that with you here. Let's get through this one real quick. We'll play that.
Go.
Organizations stay quiet.
3-minute clip, sorry.
We are seeing those who are capitulating to clearly unconstitutional threats.
Is she talking about the Democrats?
And these are the things that we are witnessing each day in these last few months in our country.
It's because Donald Trump getting shit done every day.
Understandably creates a great sense of fear. Because, there were many things that we knew would happen. Many things. I'm not here.
She seems mostly sober. Maybe 1 or 2 shots.
Yeah, get a few shots on her.
But look,
we knew would happen. Many things. I'm not here to say I told you so.
I'm not here to say I told you so. About what?
Okay, so I'm going to explain something.
Yeah, wait.
Is this almost over? Go ahead. Well, no, I'll explain it now.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I played a game with some friends of mine and whatnot. We were in this thing, and we played a game. It's called Conker's Bad Fur Day. You know what that is?
No.
Conker's Bad Fur Day is one of the most degenerate video games ever made in my life, and they have a whole bunch of parodies and movies in it. It's a wonderful video game. Highly recommend it, but it was made on the Nintendo 64. So in that, they had a multiplayer game. It was kind of almost like a GoldenEye-esque. You run around and try to kill each other, right?
Okay.
And our favorite thing to do was what we called the Statue of Liberty. Now, if you had to guess what the Statue of Liberty, what would you think that is?
Something with holding a torch?
You're holding something. Yeah, keep going.
I don't know. You tell me.
So in the Statue of Liberty play, what you would do is when your health got too low and somebody was going to come up and kill you with a sword, which was the worst weapon to try to defend against or dodge. They would basically just chop you the hell up, right?
Right.
What you would do is you would hold up a hand grenade and wait for them to come chop you up, and then you were both going.
Yeah, people do that in DayZ.
Yeah, it's a wonderful thing. We call it the Statue of Liberty play because you're holding it up like a torch and going out.
Well, now, I heard France wants their Statue of Liberty back.
Yeah. I'm going to talk about something that a lot of people don't talk about. Trump, before he ran for office, before he ever announced, he was really popular on Fox News. Do you remember why?
No.
It was because he was what was called a birther. Do you know what that is?
I feel like I should know that. I don't know why I'm blanking on it.
These were a group of people, essentially, that went around and said that they didn't believe Obama was born in the
Oh,
United States.
yes, I remember. Yes.
Do you know why he believed that Obama wasn't born in the United States?
Because his middle name's Hussein?
No, that's not it.
Oh, why?
He went to a fundraiser in New York for this woman who was running for senator at the time.
Uh-huh.
And her aides were all, fawning over Donald Trump and all of that. And the senator and everything, when she was going through her presidential campaign during the primaries, they said, he's not even American. We know that he wasn't born here.
Really?
Yeah. So he was told by a Hillary Clinton aide that Obama wasn't born in the United States.
What if that was a 4D chess move?
It was a 4D chess move because every time Hillary Clinton loses something politically, she makes up shit about her opponent, and then that's what
true.
stays in the news.
That's true.
Can you think of any other time that Hillary Clinton made up some shit about her political opponent when she realized she might not win?
I have no idea what the Steele dossier is, Mad Stark.
I have no idea either. But it's kind of an interesting thing. But if you look into Democrats, when they start losing to Republicans, it's pretty much a trend that they will make up some shit to hold as a Statue of Liberty play against whoever it is that they're going with. Because they know that there is no way they can win. So they're going to hold up that grenade and basically take it to the head as they get out.
Yeah.
So that's what happens. So quick question. What did the Democrats do before Trump took office?
This time around?
Yeah.
There was a lot that they did, but you mean in terms of rumors?
Rumors, other things like did they
lied
do
about
anything
eggs
economically?
Yeah, they lied about the culling of chickens, which spiked egg prices.
Oh man, okay, so they kind of screwed the economy for food. Did they do anything else?
I'm sure as soon as you say it, I'll be like, oh yeah.
Okay, so Biden's administration actually did several things essentially to cup the economy. One of them was they were trying to pass all kinds of deals towards the end so that Trump,
Well, yeah,
because
they were trying to
knew
get that fat ass omnibus through too.
Oh yeah, they tried to get the fat ass omnibus through, which again was government spending, which we know now. Anytime the Democrats are trying to increase government spending, what it really is for campaign funds in the future.
Yeah, essentially.
We
and
know
their
that.
own paychecks, they wanted 40% raises.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, the raises was another thing. But we know all
outrageous.
of this that they were doing. We know about the eggs. We know that they were trying to play that he was another Russian hoax.
Yep.
We know that they were trying to malign Vance in a couple of ways, but that didn't really work because Vance is such a dark horse that there's political opposition on him, but they can't really do it. They were paying out a bunch of NGOs too, right? Yes. That was actually one of the major things that they did at the end of the Biden administration. They signed off a bunch of NGO payouts, essentially, that they were trying to get out the door. They looked into that, and one of the NGO payouts was to Tracy Abrams in Georgia, who was running a fund that someone she knows was in charge of and also made political campaigns in a circuitous manner to get them back to her campaign funds. So they were basically trying to stack the deck essentially with that. But when it came to Trump, they were trying to say things like recession. They were trying to say things like, it was Stacey Abrams. Didn't I say? Maybe it's a little bit delayed.
Chat is delayed. It's delayed about like 15, 30 seconds.
Oh, okay. So that's maybe what it is. But Stacey Abrams was there. They were also trying to do a couple of other things to basically ensure inflation because they wanted to blame him for that. And honestly, Trump has gone so, I'm trying to think of an expression other than deep. He's gone so forward into this tariffs bit that a recession was inevitable But that's what the funniest thing about it is these people who cry about big corporations.
Yeah.
That's who the tariffs are hurting. So it
well, no,
makes
that's
me
what
laugh.
everyone's been talking about. Like, this isn't gonna hurt like small business as much as it's gonna hurt like Walmart or Amazon outsource things from foreign countries. You know.
Yeah, it hurts small businesses bigger than you might think.
Well, no, I'm sure it's going to hurt them, but like the bigger businesses, the big corporations are gonna take a bigger hit.
It's kind of a weird thing, but the small businesses require the large businesses for cheap products to establish their foothold in the market, and because they lack that, it sort of is a self-defeating kind of thing.
Well, what's called? I had a story, and I had Melted Mind on yesterday, and he actually brought up a good point. The story was from the UN. They want to put a massive carbon tax on cargo being shipped across the ocean, and
Yep.
it was like $150 per ton or something like that.
Yep.
But what Melted's argument was that this actually might be beneficial to the United States and Trump's agenda, because if things have to be shipped over at a higher cost, then that would incentivize them making it here.
The only reason that I don't like what it is that they're doing with that is that it tries to charge the shipping receiver instead of the shipper. If they changed it to the person like pushing the product out, then I would love it. I would be 100% on board.
It would make more sense.
It would also make more sense because you're trying to do the whole idea behind that is because you're trying to reduce the carbon emissions from shipping.
Yeah.
And if they put it on the person shipping instead of the person receiving, you would hurt China. But that's the problem for them. They're not trying to hurt China. They're trying to hurt the United States.
Of course, yeah. And I feel like it's the only reason they're doing that now is partly because of the tariffs that they're seeing. So the UN's like, oh, let's slap America around a little bit.
Well, it's also because the UN is about to get defunded like crazy because what Trump did during his first term was like 2 years in. He started defunding the UN, and I think he's already started talking about it. He may have already started doing it. But he's essentially reducing all of that.
Well, we need to leave the UN. I don't. We are the United Nation. Just like we're NATO, dude. Like it's stupid.
Oh, I've got a question that I really only thought of in the last couple of days.
Yeah.
The USSR was allowed to join not NATO, but the UN, right?
Okay.
And we gave them Security Council membership to try to balance things out and stuff like that. When the USSR crashed, why was Russia automatically inducted into stuff?
I don't know. Just lack of wanting to do paperwork.
Well, I mean, no, but I got in an argument with this woman that I worked with who was from Iran. Okay. And they make a big deal, like the American Iranians make a big deal about it. They're not speaking Farsi, they're speaking Persian, and their culture, they can date their culture back 2,000-3,000 years, and they're Persian. And I'm like, but it hasn't been. Alexander the Great rolled through there and changed up the entire country. Islam killed everyone who was there before. There's no way you can say it's the UK doesn't say that their government dates back to 1000 BCE. They don't claim that.
No.
And so I'm really confused by these countries that do this. And so it got me thinking where else do you see this? The UN is one of these places where you see this with Russia.
Absolutely. And then what's called? We are at the hour mark, but I'm not going to go to Rumble Premium yet. I'll go to Rumble Premium in a little bit. There are how much longer can you stay around?
I can stick around for the video. I really want to see the video.
You want to see the video? Okay, so let's play that video.
I want to see your reaction to it because I'm just holy shit.
Well, there were other stories I wanted to talk about. There's
we can pull up one of those then.
Well, no, there's a lot of stories I wanted to talk about, but I do want to watch this video, and since you're here, I will watch it. Did I pull it up? Oh, no. Did I pull it up? No, I didn't. Oops. Wait. There it is. Okay. From some random account, Bigfoot USA. Ignore the account, watch the video.
While hundreds of thousands of Hungarian Jews were being shipped off to the death camps, George Soros accompanied his phony God
Budapest. He was in Budapest.
confiscating property from the Jews. These are pictures from 1944 of what happened to George Soros's friends and neighbors. You're a Hungarian Jew who escaped the Holocaust by posing as a Christian.
Right.
And you watched lots of people get shipped off to the death camps.
Right. I was 14 years old. And I would say that that's when my character was made.
In what way?
That one should think ahead, one should understand and anticipate events. One is threatened. It was a tremendous threat of evil. I mean, it was a very personal experience of evil.
My understanding is that you went out with this protector of yours who swore that you were his adopted godson.
Yes.
Went out, in fact, and helped in the confiscation of property from the Jews.
That's right.
Yes. I mean, that sounds like an experience that would send lots of people to the psychiatric couch for...
So he posed as a Christian, and then he went around and confiscated belongings from other Jewish people?
Yes, he confiscated Jewish wealth on behalf of the Nazis. Keep watching. His response to this question.
No, I just want to make sure I was understanding the story.
Oh no, that's it. He's a Jewish person hiding as a Christian with an adopted parental figure that his father paid money to this guy to pretend like he was the godfather.
His protector. Yeah, it was referred to as his protector.
But
okay.
that question that he just asked about, like, what was the experience like, okay?
Well, he said because this was like the most formative years, is what he said.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
So let's see.
Many, many years. Was it difficult?
Not at all. Not at all. Maybe as a child you don't see the connection. But it created no,
with a smile on his face,
at all.
No feeling of guilt.
No.
For example, that I'm Jewish, and here I am watching these people go. I could just as easily be there. I should be there. None of that.
Well, of course, I could be on the other side, or I could be the one from whom the thing is being taken away. But there was no sense that I shouldn't be there, because that was, well, actually, funny way, it's just like in markets, that if I weren't there, of course I wasn't doing it, but somebody else would be taking it away anyhow. In other words, whether I was there or not, I was only a spectator. The property was being taken away. So I had no role in taking away that property.
So his justification was like, well, if I wasn't there...
Yes.
We got Joey coming. We got Joey coming in.
Please pull him up. So literally, this guy's argument is, if I wasn't taking the property, somebody else would. So why not? But I wasn't directly involved in taking the property. So, so
if I wasn't a Nazi, someone else would have been. So
yeah. He says that it's okay to have done it, but he didn't do it. But it's okay to, if I wasn't there doing it, somebody else would have been, but I definitely wasn't there doing it. And then after all of this, I don't think they talk about it in this interview. They talk about it in the book. It specifically says that he went through and cataloged what was taken.
Oh my goodness. I bet he kept some of it too. I bet he's got keepsakes. Joey, welcome to the stage. How's it going today?
He's a good guy. We should follow everything he says.
Yes, I support everything he's ever funded, guys.
Yeah, George Soros
seems like a great guy. Because if he doesn't do it, who will?
Yeah, if I don't do it, then maybe somebody first than me will do it.
No, wait, sorry, we got to go by his logic. If I don't do it, someone else would anyway, so might as well be the Nazi of the U.S.
Yeah, why am I going to let somebody else get rich? I might as well do it.
I might as well scam people and ruin the country.
Yeah, right.
Are you familiar with his title is the guy who broke the Bank of England?
I have heard that, yeah.
Okay, so one of the reasons, in interviews about that particular situation, his response is, if I wasn't there, somebody else would have, so I might as well
That's his
exploit
whole
the system.
philosophy.
That's his whole philosophy is,
if I don't do it, someone else will anyway.
Yes.
Wow.
And he's not sorry about it. He doesn't ever show any sort of contrition. The dude is just a dick.
Okay, well, we got about a little under a minute rest of this clip. I want to watch the rest of this. This is crazy.
I had no sense of guilt.
Are you religious?
No.
Do you believe in God?
No.
Well, that explains a lot.
It was actually probably the happiest year of my life, that year of German occupation. For me, it was a very positive experience. It's a strange thing, because you see incredible suffering around you, and in fact, you're in considerable danger yourself. But you're 14 years old and you don't believe that it can actually touch you. You have a belief in yourself, your belief in your father. It's a very happy-making, exhilarating experience.
I got to go, but the last point I'll make is Schwab was raised in this whole. Again, he wasn't a Hitler Youth. He was one of the selected born, essentially, of all of that.
Yeah.
So he was told from a very young age, you are the special child. You are more intelligent than everyone else. You deserve to make these decisions. You are the ones who will lead the future and everything. And so what did the guy grow up to be? He grew up to be a complete and total sociopath. Well, I don't know if sociopath. Well, yeah, we'll call it a psychopath. He grew up to be
a psycho, maybe, because it seems like he does have some emotion, but he's just insane.
Yeah, he basically grew up with this idea of a giant superiority complex. If Gene Ellsworth was here, man, he'd be going off in chat right now, just for the record. But because a few times I've talked about this, he just freaking goes off. But anyhow, I've got to go. You guys have fun. I will try to be casually watching the stream from the background as I drive, or listening to it, I guess I should say.
Hell yeah! Well, thanks for coming on, man. Anything you want to shout out? You're more than welcome to come on the show. You have an open invite whenever you want to come on.
Yeah.
Well, make sure you keep your eyes on the road first.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was saying. I don't really watch it. I listen to it. Great thing about Rumble is you can just listen to it. You don't have to watch.
Exactly.
No,
thank you, Matt Stork. Pleasure to have you on.
And, I haven't had any issues with the app, honestly, but some people complain about it.
Rumble Studio on the app is pretty bad.
See you guys.
That's a different. That's true, but what we're talking about, just the app.
But hello, Joey. We're going to be switching over to premium. You guys got an extra 10 minutes. Thank you to Mad Stork. Yes, everyone thank Mad Stork. He was a great guest today. Learned a lot. But we're going to be switching over to Rumble Premium. So Joey, I got a new transition video for that. So we're going to test that out today. For those of you watching in video, or you don't have Rumble Premium, this is goodbye. Please come and support Rumble. Rumble is where it's at. And check out this new transition video, guys. Ba-bam.